Welcome, my dear students. Today I came with you lecture number 6. So, this lecture 6 talks about introduction of waterfall model. That means, dear students, in lecture 6 we are going to see the waterfall model. This lecture 6 belongs from second unit of software engineering paper. The second unit name is software life cycle models, and the subject name is software engineering. Code of the subject is 1618504. As per the SBT syllabus, this lecture is prepared. This is the content of our lecture. Today, in this lecture, we will see the introduction of waterfall model. Then we will see the phases of waterfall model, and then how the waterfall model will flow. That means flow structure of the waterfall model we will see. We will see advantage and disadvantage or weakness of the waterfall model in this lecture. Dear students, please give your attention so that we will have a clear and better understanding on all this content. Now, the introduction of waterfall model. The first point says that it is a linear sequential model. So, waterfall model is also known as a linear sequential model. This model is developed in a sequential approach. So, waterfall model is developed in a sequential approach. That means if any developer use the waterfall model to develop the software, then the software will be developed in a sequential approach manner. In this model, each phase must be completed fully before the next phase starts. So dear students, in waterfall model, each step must be complete fully before the next phase start. That means before going to start the next phase, we should be complete the first phase completely, fully. And this model provide a structure to the inexperienced staff. That means the staff which are not experienced in the development of software model, then this model will be really helpful for them for the development of software. So this waterfall model I have just given with one image how it's working in a sequential way. Now this is the flow of the waterfall model phases. So first requirement, then design, then we have a development, testing, deployment and maintenance. These are the flow phases of waterfall model. So like this, all phases are flowing in the waterfall model. Now we will see each phases here in detail. So we have 6 phases in waterfall model. Planning and requirement analysis, the first phase. Second phase we have designing the software. Third phase we have developing the software. Then fourth, testing the software. Then deployment, maintenance. Here when designing the software means we are going to design the frame or layout of the software based on requirement analysis. And once the designing or framework is done, then we will go for the development of the software. So this all 6 phases we will see here one by one. Now, what are the documents needed in each phases of waterfall model? So requirement, we use a document that is called prepare use cases. Then design, we are going to be prepare a document that is called designing document specification. Requirement, we have a SRS. So SRS is software requirement specification. Designing, we have a designing document specification. Implementation, this stage we have a construct the software, data storage and revival, so that we are going to be use it. Then verification, verification means just talking for the testing. We have to install it, we have to test and debug the software. For that also we have to keep one document as a report. Then maintenance, this will talks about the optimization capability or any error which is found by the customer end. So these are the flow of waterfall model with the documents. Now we will see this phases of waterfall model one by one. The first phase is called planning and requirement analysis. This is one of the fundamental phase of the waterfall model. So this phase talks about to collect or to interact with the customer for its better understanding of the customer needs. That means the first phase talks about the requirement analysis. In this phase, our senior team member has to be interact with the customer to know the needs and requirement of the customer. Second point says that this is the most crucial phase, as any misinterpretation at this stage may give rise to validation issue later. So it's considered as the most crucial phase because based on this requirement analysis only other all phases will be worked on. So it is one of the important phase, or we can say the fundamental phase of the waterfall model, to understand the customer requirements and expectation, and based on this expectation or requirement our software will be developed, and we try to give the complete satisfaction to the customer. Now the requirement analysis. Once planning and requirement analysis is done, then this analysis is done by the analyst. This analysis is done by the analyst, those who having a better grip or understanding about the requirements. That means once we can collect the requirement for the customer, our team is going to be sit with the customer and find out the and discuss based on the requirement of the customer and documented it for the again review with the customer. And that team, those who are going to be do this analyst process is called analyst. Dear students, the person who is going to be sit and have a look on the requirement of the customer is called analyst. So see here, this image says that the person, they have already requirement list, they are going to be sit, they are going to have a review on it, and they are going to be again finalize it, put it into the document, and further the document will be produced in front of the customer for the review. So that is what you are actually expecting from us. Defining the requirements. Once the requirement analysis is done, next what they are going to do, they are going to be clearly define it and document the requirement and get it approval from the project stakeholders. That means the requirement analysis is done perfectly, then that will be defined and documented, and this documentation will be goes to the stakeholder for the final approval. And this document is known as SRS, which is called software requirement specification, and based on this SRS, remaining all the stages will be worked, and that means we can say that based on the SRS only the software development start. Now designing the software. The customer requirement are broken into logical module for the ease of implementation. That means the customer requirement based on the SRS we have, that will be broken into logical modules. Logical module means a small module of a software, and each module having their interrelation between them, and so that each module can be developed and finally clubbed together to make it as a software. See here, this image says that we have altogether 4 modules. Now they are going to be clubbed together and to make it the final software product. So that it says that the customer requirements are broken down into a logical module. Why? Because easy to implement. Then each logical module having the interrelationship between them, and algorithm and diagrams define the scope and objective of each logical module. So this phase lay a fundamental for the actual programming implementation. That means designing will be based on the SRS. Once the designing will be done, that means once the framework done by the design people, then the coding will be start. So it is an intermediate step between the requirement analysis and coding. We can say that designing step is the intermediate step between the requirement analysis and coding. Now developing the software, we are going to develop the software based on the designing. So developing the code is a step in which design is translated into a machine readable form. Dear students, what we design in the designing phase, that will be going to be put it in the programming. So in that program our computer will be read it. That is called machine readable form. That is nothing but it's 0 or 1 form. If the design is done in a sufficient detail, then coding can be done effectively. Here this says that developing phase is based on the design phase. If the design phase is done successfully, effectively, then coding will be done also effectively and successfully. Programs are created in this phase. That means developing the software means we are going to create the code or programs. Software divided into a smaller module, then after doing coding for the small module rather than do coding whole software. So here in the development phase of the waterfall model, here we are working with each separate module, and at last all the module will be clubbed together and it became a whole software development. Now once the software is developed, that means program is done, then we can go for the testing. So this testing actually is a subset of all the stages in the modern SDLC waterfall model. We can say that it's a subset of all the stages. Here we are going to perform the testing. We are going to find out the error in the program. All the unit developed in the developing the software phase are integrated into a system after testing of each unit. That means the software phase are integrated into a system after testing of each unit. That means each unit we are going to perform the testing, and then after the testing is done, we have a integrated testing. Then integrated testing is done, then system testing will be done, then finally if no error, then we can go for the next phase. Post integration, the entire system is tested for any fault and failure. That means post integration testing means entire system is tested. Full that means all complete phases will be tested for any fault and failure. So testing can be done in the two parts, hardware testing as well as software testing. That means what are the minimum hardware requirement by the software and how the software will be installed and it will be work effectively without any error or fault. So this all things should be done during the testing process or phase of the waterfall model. Now deployment. Once the software is tested and no bugs or error are reported in the software, then it is deployed. That means once testing will be done, no error or bugs will be there, then we can deploy the software. Once the functional and non-functional testing is done, then the product is deployed in the customer environment or released into the market. That means functional or non-functional testing is done, then our product will be hand over to the customer environment or we can release in the market. So maintenance, this is one of the longest phase in the waterfall model. So after alpha and beta testing, the product will be come into the launch into the market or hand over to the client. So this maintenance will be done on the routine basis. That means we have to visit to the client and check the software working condition. Then customer also suggests if the customer will be give any request or suggestion for the uplifting or enhancement or any changes in the software, again we have to work it from the first stage of the waterfall model. So dear student, this says that it is one of the longest stage of the waterfall model. In this phase, waterfall software is updated to meet the customer needs, to meet the external environment and to correct errors and oversight previously undetected error in the testing phase. So this is all about the maintenance phase of the waterfall model. I hope it is clear for you, my dear students. Now application of the waterfall model. So requirements are very well documented, clear and fixed. So this is one of the application. Here the requirements are very well documented, clear and easy to fix. Product definition is stable. Technology is understood and not a dynamic. So we can anytime we can change it. There are no ambiguous requirement. So our requirement is already I told you well documented and clear. So there is no need of any confusion or any problems in between. Project is short. So in waterfall model, the software development project will be short. So this can be applicable for the short project. Now advantage of the waterfall model: easy and simple to use and understand, easy to manage due to the rigidity of the model, each phase having a specific deliverable and review process. So while doing the review process, we are easily find out the any fault or defect then and there itself. Phases are proceed and complete once at a time. So one at a time we can complete the phases. Clearly define a stage and easy to arrange task. So it's the stages are clearly defined and tasks are arranged in a proper manner. So process and results are well documented. So here we are giving more weightage on the documentation part. So these are the advantages of the waterfall model. So disadvantage: no working software is produced until during the life cycle. This is the first disadvantage of the waterfall model. High amount of risk and uncertainty, because the model is rigidity, so high amount of risk and uncertainty. Not a good model for complex and object oriented project. As I told you in the previous slide, it is only for the short project. So if you want to go for the complex project, this model is not suitable. Poor model for long and ongoing project. Yes, If you want to be work with the ongoing project, this model is not suitable for that. Risk and uncertainty is high with this model, as I told you in the first point itself, because of its rigidity. It is difficult to measure process within stages. So it's difficult to measure the progress within the stages. Adjusting a scope during the life cycle can end a project. So we cannot adjust in between, because each step is, we can say that, individual. That means one step completely or successfully completed, then only we can go for the next step. So these are the main disadvantage or weakness of the waterfall model. Dear students, I hope it is clear for you. Now we have a summary here, what we discussed. I hope it's clear for you. We discussed more about the waterfall model phase. I explained all the phases here one by one. We also talk about the application, advantage and disadvantage of the waterfall model. This is the reference link I have given for you. Just go through this reference link. It will help you and boost your knowledge. I have given the book name also. So kindly just go through this book as a reference. Thank you, my dear student. Again, we will meet in the next video lecture. Thank you.